Hello YouTubers, my name is X Factor and the Naval Strike DLC patch has finally hit the PC, and if you have access to a private server, you have access to the new weapons available in Naval Strike and the gadgets and all the changes that have taken place, including this one, the assault rifle, the AR160, which has a rate of fire of 700, along with its floating stubby grip and floating mag. Now, this being 700 rounds a minute, it needs to be extremely accurate at mid to long range to make sense to use. If not, you're giving up too much to other weapons that have similar rates of fire or even higher rates of fire, including the L85, which has been reduced down to 750 rounds a minute, which is phenomenal at mid and pretty darn good at long range. Not to mention the Ace-23, the M416, and the Scar H, just to throw a few others out there. So let's take a look at this and see how it shoots. With a rate of fire of only 700, this is not going to be a close quarter beast. You're really going to have to make every shot count. But the good news is this weapon has a pretty quick reload. Now, where will this weapon shine? At medium and longer ranges. So let's talk about higher rate of fire weapons real quick. If you're using something like the FAMAS or the AEK or the L85, which used to be 800 rounds a minute, now it's 750, or you're using the Ace-23, which has 770. Once you start to get to those medium ranges, you really have to start burst firing. Bullet groupings, patterns of 2 to 7, 2 to 8, depending on the range. Every time you have to let off the trigger to reduce your cone of fire, your bloom, your deviation, that's taking away from your potential rate of fire. But that's the trade-off for accuracy. So the question is, will this weapon fill the gap? Will this give us the accuracy at those medium and longer ranges without having to tap fire and burst fire as much? And the answer is going to be yes. So this does have a pretty swift reload that we're going to see here in a second. The question is, what's the recoil like? I'm not going to counter the recoil right now. I'm just going to shoot at the wall. Straight up and vertical. A little bit of wiggle, but nothing you really have to worry about. And that's a fast reload. You can hear it. You just can't see it. When you reload this gun on an empty mag, the hand doesn't go through the animation and you don't rechamber. So that's a pretty fast reload. So let's take a look at what we can get away with bursting. I think we can all agree that this is a pretty good medium range. So let's just mag dump this and try to counter the reload. Put it up on the wall where it's nice and bright. That is pretty darn accurate at this range, except for that top bullet. So let's do it again on another spot. That is pretty darn accurate. And of course, you can give it a burst fire, and there's that reload again, to stay even more accurate. So if you think you've got time, you can give them the old burst fire. But it looks like you'll be able to get away with pretty decent-sized mag dumps at medium and longer range. And of course, the accuracy is all about burst firing. But let's take a look at like a nice 6-round dump. That is accurate. This thing is going to shoot lasers and ropes across the map. But remember, it's only 700 rounds a minute. The reload is pretty darn good as well, so that helps you out. You've got to make every bullet count, but if you're looking at something to push from one flag to another flag, such as this map, you might not want to go in with the FAMAS and AEK. You might want to bust this out. This reminds me of the AK-5C, the Engineer Carbine, which is just solid at the medium and longer ranges. But that one, you've got to tap fire quite a bit more than you will have to here on the new assault rifle available for Naval Strike. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to leave them down below.